Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight to the Ford EcoBoost 200 on NASCAR Heat 5. We've got some truck series action here for this one. We're going to get things started off with qualifying. Now, for anybody that is following me on Twitter, when I released the schedule earlier today, I did not think I was going to be able to get off of work as early as I did. I usually don't get off this early, so that is why we're starting it up early. I figure why not, you know, I can get that extra half hour, 45 minutes of sleep. That would be beautiful. So we're going to get on into this one. Oni, Slasher, God, Braden Thompson, and Angel, welcome to the stream. We're going to have session qualifying, no practice here at Homestead tonight. And we're going to get on with the race here pretty shortly. So Chase Elliott, we'll see what kind of a truck he's got here at Homestead. This should be an interesting one. We've got the steering wheel in hand once again. We'll see. Pretty nice on the access road here. Chase Elliott going to try to get up to speed. Top 24 advanced to round number 2. Called 88. Welcome to the stream. Oh, jeez. Looking at the chat, yeah, we might run 2 laps here. I think we're going to run 2 laps in round 1 instead of just 1. Chase Elliott messed up the turn 4 exit there. Man, this truck not want to run the top side turns 1 and 2, and it is still pushing up near the wall. There he goes, a lot better turn through turns 3 and 4, but this 24 truck, at least in qualifying, feels very great. It's going to be interesting to see how it's going to work throughout the course of the race here tonight. First lap is a 34.395. That is not very fast at all. Elliott has to pick up the lap. So we'll see. I'll put the Twitter down in the comments section after this round concludes. All right. Lap number 2 should be faster for Elliott. It is about 0.3 of a second faster, 34.042 that time. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, thank goodness I didn't end the stream. We're going to finish there. 31st in qualifying for Chase Elliott. Wow. That was a terrible effort in qualifying. I figured that lap time was slow, but it's a good thing we picked the pace up or we would have been dead last. That is very unfortunate for this 2014. Yeah, I hit the wrong button. I hit the share button instead of the options button. I was thinking that might have ended the stream there for a second. But man, Chase Elliott misses the second round in qualifying here. That is a shocker. Kyle Busch will win the opening round. And Chase Elliott's going to have to come from the back in this one. We're definitely going to loosen this truck up, at least for the start. Hopefully it's not going to be bad as the course of the race will carry on. Alright, the Twitter is down in the comments section below for those of you that want to follow. Again, I'll be posting weekly streaming schedule updates as far as these full race live streams go, so there you have it. Ford EcoBoost 200, Kyle Busch on the pole here tonight at Homestead. Sheldon Creed missed the driver's meeting. He'll start at the rear as well as Angela Ruck. Kyle Busch has got a fast truck, it looks like, at least for the start of this one, that is for sure. We'll have to see how this is going to go throughout the course of the race here today. 200 miles, 134 laps under the lights at Homestead, and the green flag is in the air. We are underway. Just 4 races before the playoffs here in the Truck Series entering this race tonight. Great start initially for Chase Elliott. Hopefully loosening the truck up will be the good way to go. We have no clue how this is going to react on a longer run. Again, no practice, just those 2 laps of qualifying. Elliott prefers the bottom here at Homestead. The problem is we're running the top early on simply because of the way... Oh boy. This truck is handling. Again, it is extremely tight. I have to get way out of the gas in the corners just to get the truck to roll through without wanting to push all the way up the track and perhaps into the wall. So we go 3 by 3 towards the back of the pack. Jason White just about got into the back of Joe Nemechek there. You can definitely feel this truck has fast straightaway speed, though. That is for sure. 4 wide in the middle of the pack now on lap 2 at Homestead. Logan Miller, welcome to the stream. Look at this craziness going on. 3 by 3. Clay Greenfield wants some of this. For the championship race, will there be stages? No, so for the entirety of season 1, for all 3 series, there's no stages, but when we go to season 2, so we get a push from Reum off of turn 4, Elliott got a little loose. But for season 2 and all 3 series, we're going to have stages on, so... I purposely wanted to run no stages season 1. Oh, truck in the wall behind us. Couldn't tell exactly who that was, but somebody got into the wall. We chased our truck up the hill, that is for sure. But again, you could see the straightaway speed, but the cornering is so tight. We still almost got in the wall that time. We loosened it up from where we were in qualifying. It's still really tight. Joseph, then welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's what I'm finding out too, Joseph. Unfortunately. Sorry for the lag in the stream, by the way. I think there's a lag going on. Just 5 laps complete in the early going of a race. Chase Elliott, not a fast truck whatsoever. He's going to hope the long run speed is going to be there tonight, because that is going to be his only saving grace. Good news is he's got a good points lead on second in the point standings coming into this race as far as the regular season championship is considered. But you don't want to make that close with just 3 races to go after this one here today. 3 wide off of turn 4, right in front of Elliott. He got the run off the top to the bottom. 4 wide down the front straightaway into turn 1. Contact with Reum. Elliott got really tight into turn 1, as we have seen. They are 4 wide behind us now. Austin Wayne Self got a little loose and had to get out of the gas. Rafael Assar just jumped up like 3 spots in the center of the corner. My goodness. Cindy Duncan Gaming, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're definitely struggling early, that is for sure. But thank goodness it is early. The problem is, with this being a truck series race, these races are not that long in all reality. And we're definitely going to have to loosen this truck up again next pit stop. I would have to assume it's going to be faster on older tires. This isn't a track position kind of a racetrack, though. That is the thing. That is really mind-boggling. Elliott has moved up to 16th. I mean, you can just see the truck pushing center off. It rolls into the corners all right from time to time, but for the most part, it is terrible. As far as center off, it is just mad tight. We can drive it in pretty deep, but we're just out of the gas for so long. Quarter of the way through this tire run to start the race. Elliott's only gotten up to about 16th. Already about 8 seconds off the race lead on lap 9. Can alternate through the different camera angles for the first time here tonight. Big run there on Johnny Sauter. Really has that exit speed though, but I mean, again, you could see down the well, never mind. Caution's out before we really got to see the straightaway speed to see if we were going to be able to make a shot at Zane Smith into turn one. Not Johnny Sauter, it was Zane Smith. So caution's out for the first time here today. We only have 4 sets of tires. Remember, I tried to limit myself in the trucks and Xfinity. So it's interesting to see if we pit or not. We're only 10 laps in, but I think the truck gets faster and faster on the older tires, so we're going to stay out of the pits in 16. Ty Gillen from 4th place is going to be hitting pit road, and there's definitely a truck up in smoke up ahead, that is for sure. Not sure who that is, but likely the cause of the caution. Ross Chastain currently in the lead on lap number 10 at the time of the yellow. So we'll rack them and stack them, and we'll get going. Here we go, green flag back in the air. Elliott might have been in first gear just a hair too long there, but he's trying to get through the gears nicely. 3 walk has come in yet, or not. Look at him, he's all the way down on that inside off the exit of the corner. Way down low. Awkward angle into turn 3, a little contact with Austin Hill. You had to have known, driving it in that deep, he was not going to get the truck to turn. He's already had a problem with it as it is. And that's on entrance of the corners when it's normal. On the brakes now behind Christian Eckes. Remember, 20th on back, hit pit road. I should say 19th on back on the restart. Figuring Lassard had pit. Chase Elliott. Big side draft there on Friesen and Eckes. Going into turn 3. Oh, to the back bumper of Marcus Hook. Still going to clear Eckes off the exit of turn 4. Chase Elliott moving through the field. There's a little damage to that front end of the 94 truck of Marcus Hook there. Rod G, welcome to the stream. Baruka. I should say Barika. Welcome to the stream. Ross Chastain still leading the field. Sauter in second. Pole sitter Kyle Busch in third. Chase Elliott still trying to run the top 3 down. Trying to keep up with them. Especially before those drivers on fresher tires try to get a run. Only 10 lap fresher tires. It will make a difference for about those first 10 laps, but then you'll really see everybody even out. Elliott about put in the wall off of turn 2, but he's getting the draft off of Kyle Busch now. Elliott drives it in deep. Can't get it to stick though. Again, this truck is very tight. Loses ground to Kyle Busch that time. You can see by running the top, it is giving us a little bit more straightaway speed. We're losing so much in the center of the corners. Kyle Busch, again, he's going to hold clear off of turn number 2. Good setup move, though. Elliott now to the inside of Kyle Busch into turn 3. He drives it in deep again. He's going to clear Kyle Busch. Kyle cannot get the crossover. So just like that, Chase Elliott up to third, right behind Ross Chastain and Johnny Sauter, who is right ahead of us for position right now. Elliott to the inside of Sauter now for second into turn 1. He's going to complete the pass. And he's going to be able to beat Sauter back to the gas also. Look at this. Little bobble off of turn 2 that time for Elliott, but he's got a run on the 40 truck of Chastain, who has won a race this season. As well as Elliott, of course. Big dive bomb into turns 3 and 4. Crossover by Chastain. He's back to the bottom. Elliott now on the top. Chastain just able to clear Elliott. Look at that block by the 40 of Chastain. Elliott goes for it again into turn 1 on the bottom. Clears Chastain a second time. Ross cannot complete the crossover there. Elliott gets the truck to stick on the bottom off the exit of 2. And just like that, Chase Elliott is about to lead his first lap of the race at the line this time, assuming Chastain can't get him back here. And he won't. So Elliott to the lead. Lap 21. If it wasn't for the caution, I don't think Elliott would have quite led this early in the race, but nonetheless, it works out. And again, this truck gets slightly faster as the run carries on, which is oddly enough really weird for a track like this at Homestead. Again, track position not as big of a factor on these 1.5 miles versus, you know, a flatter, longer track, like maybe even like a Pocono like we saw earlier this season in the Truck Series. But for whatever reason, that seems to be the case here tonight. So Chase Elliott, halfway through the tire run, pretty solid right out of the gates here. He just ran his fastest lap that last lap. Gaming Hot Plays, welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody to the stream for that matter. We got 14 people currently watching. 1 point in time right now. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If anybody is new, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. We got full race live streams on the daily. We'll have another truck race tomorrow night. We go to Kentucky for the next race of the season. So back-to-back 1.5 miles on the schedule currently. A custom scheduled championship mode season at that. CP, welcome to the stream. That right front's really wearing out quite a bit with how tight the race truck is. Homestead, not a big track when it comes to tire wear. With how tight the truck is, though, we are not taking great care of that right front tire. So Chase Elliott could be a factor carrying on. We got a truck up in smoke on pit road, but he will get out of the way. We stay green with still barely over 100 laps left here tonight. Elliott really got it to stick well through 3 and 4. You can even feel the handling come around as the run carries on as well. It's not just getting faster, but it's not as tight as what it was for those first 10 to 20 laps of the run. It seems like it's getting just slightly looser. Still not perfect. They can still loosen up quite a bit more. But it's not bad. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. Inside Uranus, welcome. Yeah, Elliott back to the gas a little too early off of turn 4 there. Chase Elliott currently has a 3-second lead on Chastain. And none of the drivers that had hit pit road under that first and only caution we have had tonight has made it at least to the top 5. Remember, everybody from 19th on back hit pit road under that first and only caution so far. Making it perhaps a little more interesting for the top 18, see what the pit strategy will be going forward. Yeah, the truck's really starting to get a little bit looser now. Still not too bad, but again, we carry later and later into the run. You can really feel the rear of the truck wanting to slip out just a bit more. At least it did through 3 and 4 there. 1 and 2 not as bad. Oh, looking down at the chat again there. I started the race about 10 till 8. Well, I started the stream about 10 till 8. I guess it might have been, the race might have started. No, you know what? The race probably started about 10 till 8, I guess, technically. Yeah, sorry, I started a little bit earlier than what I usually do Monday through Wednesday. Again, usually I shoot for that 8:15 to 8:30 time, Eastern Standard Time, but tonight started a little earlier. I got off of work early. So I figured I'd take up the opportunity to, you know, get this race in even earlier tonight, because You know, the more sleep, the better for me with my work schedule, so. Racing in your hometown, nice. None of the leaders have had to catch lap traffic today. Remember that first caution came out on lap 10, so they definitely weren't in lap traffic then. This is the longest of the 2 green flag runs so far. So it'll be a 17-lap green flag run at the line this time. So Chase Elliott perhaps going to catch lap traffic here in a couple laps. And he's going to have to bring it on the pit road pretty soon. But again, this truck is getting faster as the run carries on. So very unique with this setup. Usually we see having a good long. At the same time, you usually don't see the lap times. Usually the rest of the field, their tires fall off a lot quicker than us. But that is not the case tonight. Seems like our tires are burning out quite a bit, but at the same time, we're running faster and faster as the run carries on. We're just so tight through the first half of the run. We had our worst qualifying effort by far this season, 31st. On the brakes behind Angela, and she'll go a lap down off of turn 2. But yeah, this truck is getting looser. I really want to loosen it up under this next pit stop. But again, we get later into the truck is getting faster, but much looser. It's not too unbearable to handle, but I'm scared if I make a wedge adjustment, you know, I feel like it's going to be too much, even just a half turn. Just going to have this race is going to end in a 20 to 30 lap green flag run at least, and that's going to be our best way to win the race, because if it doesn't, I don't see us winning it at all here tonight. I mean, you guys saw at the very beginning we were a 20th place truck at best for those first 10 to 20 laps. Sadia, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you can make it back braided, but no problem. We'll be back again tomorrow. And getting down to the wire in the regular season title for the Truck Series, as well as the playoff bubble, of course, knowing only 3 races left on the regular season for this Truck Series schedule after the conclusion of this one today. The right front's wearing out quite a bit, down to about 17%. 3 wide up the middle, off of 2. Elliott got loose, and he almost slammed right into Rafael Assad there. He barely cleared him off of turn 2. That could have been a big moment. Again, the handling of the truck is really going away as the run carries on. It's amazing how tight it is at the start of the run, and just how loose it is at the loose is fast if he can hang on to it. Hang on to it. So far, so good, I guess. Should run off the top. Zane Smith will go a lap down. Just 19 trucks on the lead lap currently. The more trucks that go a lap down, the better for Elliott. Top 5 runs like this. Elliott in the lead. Chastain second. Kyle Busch third. Then you have Sauter in fourth. Gillen in fifth. With a 12.5 second lead. Chase Elliott over Ross Chastain. And again, green flag pit stops will likely be coming up. At least for Chase Elliott, they'll be coming up in a handful of laps. Less than that even. We're probably only 2 or 3 laps away from our stop. But again, we're burning the tires out likely a lot more than the leaders. You're not going to see them come to pit road for another 10 laps or so after us, which could be a problem. But again, that was the fastest lap of the race that time for Elliott, so that's why he's staying out as long as he can. Not trying to pit too early, because again, these lap times are very fast, despite the handling of the car going away with how loose it's getting over the course of this run. Jacob Westbrook, welcome to the stream. lost to Chad Fincham at Daytona. Boy, that's a miracle. Elliott all the way to the top. Oh, in the wall. Off of turn 2. Don't really have any damage though. We've kept good care of the truck despite the poor handling at the beginning of the run, the end of the run. Nonetheless, a fairly clean night so far for Chase Elliott. Just 11 trucks on the lead lap with 95 laps to go at Homestead. Elliott's on an absolute tear right now. Trying to stay out as long as he can, maybe hoping for a caution. I think the best thing for Elliott, though, is not to hope for a caution here, because, again, that's how bad we are in the short runs. We're going to lose so much time. The more cautions we get, he needs us to play green. Likely long enough for everybody to cycle through, at least. .366, fastest lap of the race at the very end of this run. With about 40 laps on our tires, granted 3 of those laps were under caution, but still. Oh man, snappy off in turn 2. That truck was pointed towards the infield that time for Elliott. Gonna stay out one more lap, and Elliott will pit this next time by. It will be lap 42 when Elliott comes to pit road. Willing to nurse it the last corner there through turns 3 and 4 if he has to make it. Wow, that truck got loose. So Elliott pushing the limits early. He's backing way out of the gas here. He is going to nurse it through 3 and 4. He made it the extra lap. Just 10 drivers on the lead lap. Got to make sure he doesn't flat spot the tire before he gets to pit road, because the right front could blow. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Never got to practice it. And just like that, perfectly done. Chase Elliott will pit from the lead. No adjustments to be needed here. King Jackson, welcome to the stream. Nah, never blew a tire. I know how to manage my race truck. No, I nursed it through turns 3 and 4. I knew I was probably going to have to, but it was worth making that extra lap, I think. We shouldn't have lost too much time in the grand scheme of things. .8 stop that time for the 24 team of Elliott. First stop of the race for that race team. And it is not a bad one at all. That's actually a pretty solid time. Chase Elliott trying to get up to speed off the access road. Now he needs to put a decent amount of laps on these tires, because again, if we get a caution, that is going to really hurt him. He is barely on the lead lap right now. Good news is he has the fresh tires. Bad news is he's very, very slow and tight on the short run, so I don't know how this is going to even out necessarily, if at all. Race leader still about 6 seconds behind where Elliott's on the track now, so good news is he had enough of a lead. He came on the pit road. Yes, a lot of drivers got back on the lead lap, but Chase Elliott is still on the lead lap, so if a caution comes out, oh, he could stay out, but he just banged it off the wall off of turn 2. That's not going to help the race truck whatsoever. It's just amazing how tight this truck is in the very beginning of the run. Again, Elliott trying to hold on. 90 laps to go at Homestead, just one caution to show for so far, but then again, we are only 45-mile race, so not one of the longer races, that is for sure. Elliott making a couple passes for position there, 14th and then 13th on Fogelman into turn 3. So Austin Hill now going to get to the inside of Fogelman. Remember, most of those Thor Motorsport trucks are right around the cut line coming into this race tonight. None of them have wins on the season, but most of them are right on that cut line. So they're definitely ones to look out for. Johnny Sauter having a pretty good start to the race. Of the 4, Elliott just banged it off the wall off of turn 2. Again, it is very, very tight. Elliott pushing it just a little too hard, a little too early in the run. And he's beating that right side of the car up. That's not good. That's putting more stress on the right front that we don't already need. So Elliott's definitely got to try to keep it off the wall more and more here. King, that is for sure. They definitely need some sort of a pre-race, kind of like the F1 game that I saw, or, you know, or even the older NASCAR games. NASCAR Thunder Series did it perfectly, I thought. Another truck up in smoke, the second one we have seen that did not bring out a caution. Remember, the first driver that was up in smoke did bring out a yellow, so that's very interesting. That looked like it was Clay Greenfield that time. He was able to get it to pit road. The outside of Tanner Gray for 11th. Elliott clear off of turn 2. So Chase now 22 seconds back of the race lead. We'll see. I'd have to assume everybody that did not pit under the caution will likely have to pit in the next 2 to 3 laps, if I'd have to imagine. And everybody that did pit under the caution, they could go an extra 10 laps beyond that point. So a little bit of a pit strategy game for those guys as well, of course. A much different strategy than what Elliott is on, and a much different strategy from what the other leaders are on. He drives it in deep for 10th on Majeski. He's got it easily. Yeah, I agree with the commentary, the radio commentary. The only thing with that is I wouldn't use it for these streams because I commentate, so you guys wouldn't hear it at all. I don't want that to be like a disruption in the background. So I would have to turn that off for my streams simply because I'm the one doing the commentary. But nonetheless, here comes the drivers that have not yet made their first stop of the race on pit road currently. And the only driver to stay out was Todd Gilliland. Everybody else came on to pit road. Gilliland's still about 13 seconds ahead of us. Majeski did not pit behind us either. He's about 3 seconds behind. We just passed him a little bit ago. Nemechek Fogelman rounds out the top 5, but I don't know if those guys have pit or not. I don't think Gilliland, I want to say Todd Gilliland has not pitted, but he is still on the track. Ty Majeski's on pit road now for the first time, so he was able to go a lap longer. So these guys made it to about lap 51, 50, 51 or so. Pretty interesting. And you wonder how many of them are a lap down, again with Gilliland having about 11.5 second lead over Elliott. So Chase has not cycled into the lead. Gilliland is not on pit road this time either. So Ty Gilliland might have pit under that first caution of the race today. And if that's the case, then that would make sense why he's stayed out 3 laps longer than the rest of the leaders, because that's quite a bit of fuel to save under only 3 laps of caution so far tonight. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to have a leaderboard like that, for sure. That would definitely help me out too. The commentary, that'd make it so much more easier. You know where everybody's at instead of just the 2 cars ahead of you and the 2 cars behind you. Or if you're leading or in second, it'll show the entire top 5, but still. Well, this is going to get tight. I just saw Riley Hertz coming back out of the pits. On those 4 fresh Goodyears, he's going to try to get back around us. having a rough go at it in this one, but he has had his bright spots. Remember, he's already in the playoffs, won a Canadian Tire earlier this season. He's the only rookie to win a race in the Truck Series on this season. Seven and a half seconds ahead. So with those guys pitting around 50 to 51, I would have to assume the rest of the field is going to pit. That pitted under that first caution right about lap 60 or 61. That would make sense. Gillen obviously would have had to have pitted under that caution, so this strategy is paying off more for him than anybody else, knowing that Elliott still hasn't caught him. And that could be concerning if it goes green the rest of the way. Ty Gillen looks like he could have the strategy that could win this thing. And he has not won yet this season. Look at Riley Herbst fighting back all of a sudden. Elliott had to check up big time, get on the brakes behind Moffitt. And Riley Herbst was able to just take that run to the inside and pass both of us at the same time. I'm glad I saw him out of the rear view, or we would have came down right into him. Made that late dive. He was carrying so much speed, he either couldn't get out in time or he would have had to lift way early if he was going to. Elliott going to try to cross him over into 3. I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to drive it in there and he's going to slide up, but he's not going to be able to get him. Had to get out of the gas before rolling into the side, and the 51 of Herbst gets a huge run off the top. Little side draft action to go along with it off that right rear corner panel of Elliott's truck. Great corner though through 1 and 2. Trying to run Herbst back down. Ooh, step out there also. Almost halfway through this run now for Chase Elliott. Again, definitely the longest green flag run of the race so far. It's up to 3 sets of tires, so that's good. But again, we're probably going to want to stay out as long as we can every single time with managing the fuel, of course, knowing that the truck is that much faster. Gillen from the race lead. Gillen is the next truck ahead. Chase Elliott, no lap trucks now in between the top 2. As Elliott is running faster and faster, he's on much fresher tires than Gillen as well, and he is running him down. 75 to go. Black Ace, welcome to the stream. We're almost halfway home already. But Elliott is closed in on the leader, trying to take the lead for just the second time tonight. We'll see. Gillen back to the bottom. Elliott on the top. Returns 3 and 4. He's on much fresher tires. Handling is right at about its peak point right now for Elliott, and he's going to easily clear Gillen off of turn number 4. But again, Gillen could have the strategy of the race if this stays green, because he is likely going to be pitting here in the next couple laps, and he just now lost the lead. So we'll have to wait and see how this thing plays out. We'll have to keep an eye on him going forward. Lap 61, I'd have to assume that Gillen is going to pit either this time or next time by. Nope, tomorrow night's going to be the Truck Series again because I have to work Wednesday. So it'll be another work night tomorrow night. So I'll be doing the Truck Series at Kentucky. And then the Cup Series should return Wednesday night when I get off of work. We go to Homestead. Oh, man. Just a little loose off of turn 4 that time for Elliott. So all these leaders on pit road, if a caution came out now, that would trap a lot of guys a lap down. That would really help Elliott. He's got a 23-second lead on Ross Chastain. And he's about 30 seconds ahead of third place, Johnny Sauter. Diamond Jeff, welcome to the stream. That's cool, Black Ace. As long as you won the race, I guess it's worth it. 71 to go. Yeah, again, we're almost halfway home already. Quick race pace with just the one caution. Again, it came out on lap 10, so it's been a long time since we've had that first yellow. We have had 2 races this season with 2 cautions, and then we also had 1 race with 1 caution and another race that went caution free, which was at Eldora. So the truck series is either, it seemed like we've either had very, very few cautions in a race or we've had a lot in a race. And it definitely varies from race to race. There's no consistency there, but it's looking like here tonight, this could be another one of those few caution races. .24-second lead for the 24 truck of Elliott. Can alternate through the different camera angles one more time in the race today. 69 laps to go. It's tough to say if we've got the fastest truck. Again, I mean, it takes so long on a restart. The good news is we have had a long green flag run. This is what the 2014 needed in this race, but I mean, if we get a lot of cautions here down the stretch, I just don't see Elliott being able to hold him off. The good news is, again, we've got a lot of drivers a lap down currently, but Chase Elliott is going to have to pit about 10 to 20 laps before everybody else. He's going to give up a lot of time again. A lot of guys are going to get back on the lead lap, so that is not what Elliott wants to see. If he is going to get a caution, it's got to be before he hits pit road. If he does not get that second caution of the race before he hits the pits, and it comes out, say, after, that is really going to hurt this 2014. .25-second lead. He's gradually pulling away from Chastain, but again, you can see how equal these two trucks are. Yes, Chastain had about 10 lap fresher tires right now, but those have evened out after about the first 10 laps of the run. He is not that much slower than Elliott is, and Elliott just bounced it off the wall again off of turn 2. First time since the very beginning of the run. Car got a little loose on the exit of turn 2, washed up the racetrack, couldn't get out of the gas in time. Tries to go back to the top to get around Crafton now. And he's going to clear him down the front straightaway, getting the speed off the top, so 66 to go. So we were halfway home that last time by, not this time, but the prior lap, and we had 67 to go, so we are just past the halfway point already here tonight. Nice time, Jeff. Saw that in one of the comments you posted on the prior video. Congrats. There's Johnny Sauter. He's still about 6 seconds behind Chastain, but it's another truck in danger of going a lap down if he doesn't get a caution, or again, unless Elliott has to pit. Now, it's going to be borderline on if Elliott's going to be able to make it on one more stop as well. I would have to think the rest of the field can make it on one more. Elliott is going to be much closer from the time he has to hit pit road, because he's going to be right around 50 to go. And I just don't see him being able to last that long, knowing he has burned out the right front a lot more than everybody else today. Again, and it's all in the first half of the run. You can see the tire fall off in the second half of the run is not as bad for Chase Elliott. because the truck loosens up. There's a lot less stress on the right front and more on the right rear. But at the start of the run, the first half of it is so tight, it just takes a lot out of it. You can see he's already down to 20% tire wear on the right front. So that is the problem for Chase Elliott that he's having to face with not pitting under that one and only. And he's going to be borderline on fuel even if he pits right about where it's looking like he's going to pit. And that's not counting what the tires can do. So this could definitely be a strategy race here down the stretch. 61 laps left. And Jeff, I definitely have to agree with you there that I think the custom championship mode is probably the best mode in the game. Now granted, that's pretty much all I've played, and I've only done one episode of the career mode, but career mode is pretty much the same from NASCAR Heat 4. This, you really kind of get to do whatever you want in a sense, so that's pretty cool. 60 laps left now for Elliott. If there's anybody that wants to see the checker flag now, it's Chase, but he's going to have to wait. We're at that point though, 60 to go. We're roughly a half hour out from the finish already. This might be the earliest I'm going to get done with the race on a Monday through Wednesday. Not counting days I've been on vacation or had a holiday off. That's insane. Gonna get like a full extra hour of sleep tonight. All these guys going 2 laps down right now, end finger even. And there's Ross Chastain right in front of Elliott. It's a big pass if Chase can get the yellow. Elliott to the outside, Chastain on the inside. Elliott should get the run off of turn 4, and he handles the truck perfectly, but Angela Ruck now pulls up right in front of Chase Elliott. Nowhere to go. Chastain using Ruck as a pick, and they're 3 wide into turn 1. Now that Ruck's out of the way, Elliott should get the run off of turn 2, and he clears Chastain that time. Took an extra half a lap, but he got around him. And Chase Elliott has lapped the field for the first and only time today. I doubt he's going to get to this point again. 57 laps to go. He's going to be pitting very shortly here. And again, about 10 to 20 laps before everybody will contact with the center of 1 and 2. Slowing the 24 truck down again, so he'll likely give up the lead when he hits the pits despite having this big of a lead. I'd have to imagine Chastain will cycle back in front, and we'll have to wait likely for those guys to get onto pit road. I don't think Elliott's going to run him down. Again, Elliott might have to pit one extra time in the race today. Very well possible. Elliott's got to take this run as long as he can. He took that last run as long as he could. Nursed it through 3 and 4 on that final lap, knowing he had to. More contact, 3 wide off the exit of the corner. And again, Elliott getting very loose on these old tires. Luckily, it was very minimal contact, to say the least. Elliott able to control it, as well as Ben Rhodes, who received the contact. 9th place truck now, Marcus Hook. Man, really loose off of 2 there. Chase Elliott going to hit the pits this time. It'll be a 4-tire stop for Elliott. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. Got to make sure he doesn't speed. And he didn't. Perfectly done again by Elliott. He's got about 2 seconds of damage to repair, and he is definitely short on fuel at the end. So even if the tires made it, it looks like Elliott's going to be about 4 laps short. So Chase Elliott in a hole now. He's got to make 2 pit stops to the end of the race. Everybody else will likely be able to make it on 1 more stop. So this has turned into a strategy race all of a sudden here tonight. Definitely going to be a slower stop this time for Elliott than what that first pit stop of the race was. So here we go. 17.7 second stop that time, and just like that, Chastain back to the lead. Oh man, Elliott trying to get back up to speed. Clip the grass slightly. That's going to slow him down on the access road. But Elliott will come out in third place. He's ahead of Gilliland, so that's a big deal there. The problem is he's in third and he's still got to make another stop. He's about 10 seconds off the lead from Chastain. Johnny Sauter in second. Again, these guys will not pit for another 20 laps if they take it to the end of the run again, and then they'll have fresh tires from that point on. We'll have to see how far Elliott can run, hoping for a caution beyond that point. But we'll see how this is going to stretch out again. Only one caution today. At the line this time, it will be a 69 lap green flag run. Elliott has made 2 green flag stops. The rest of the field 1. Back into the gas too early, off of 2, and Elliott again, not only that's hurting the car, but it is losing him a ton of time. And it seems to be turn 2 every time. Seems like turns 3 and 4, Elliott's a little bit better in, handling-wise. Maybe not as much on speed, but he could be backing it down a little more. He's definitely messing up turns 1 and 2 a lot more, it seems like. Well, he's a little tighter, getting back into the gas too soon, whatever it is. So the key is here, if Elliott can get to the lead before everybody else pits, if it did stay green to the end, he's got a shot still, but if not, it's going to be tough. You could consider also Elliott could take right sides only on the last pit stop. The left side tires should be able to last to the end of the race. The right sides definitely won't. We will have to get a little bit of fuel in the car because, again, we'll be short on fuel to the end from here also. So probably about a half a tank or so, just to be safe. Enough, you know, to put those right sides on the car, and that should be good to go. Johnny Sauter has not won a race this year, although he is 5.5 seconds off the lead. Maybe he takes a 2-tire stop to try and gain that track position back during green flag stops, or maybe we get that caution that Sauter needs. I don't know what's best here for Elliott, if we get a caution. But if we do, it's going to have to be sooner rather than later. It takes a while for this car to kick in on the long run, so I don't know.
Still there? Clear eye, clear eye.
It's only a second behind the second place driver of Sauter, though. Fresh tires are at least helping a little bit despite how tight the truck is.
Still there?
Elliott to the outside through turns 1 and 2. Actually got it to handle pretty decently. Got into the corner about as perfect as he could have on the top there. He's going to get a run down the backstretch. Trying to run down Johnny Sauter. Again to the top goes Elliott. Down through 3 and 4. But he bangs it off the wall again, off of turn 4. Got back into the gas too soon. Sauter slightly pulls away. But now he's side by side with Grant Enfinger, the lap truck there, and that's going to slow him down too. But now Elliott has to get to the brakes in the center of the corner. In line behind Grant Enfinger. Squeezing to the outside. Now Enfinger gets out of the way, but it's too little too late. No, not quite. Sauter must have got really loose off of turn 2 or something there, because Chase Elliott had a huge run, and Elliott now will jump to second. But here comes Sauter with a great crossover to the inside, but he's blocked off of turn 4. Elliott to second. Sauter trying to get the draft down the front stretch, but it's too little too late on older tires. About 30 to 35 lap older tires, I might add. And Elliott now just less than 5 seconds off of the lead from Ross Chastain. I think the best thing for Ross is if he short pits here, because that'll really put Elliott in a decision-making hole right now. Again, Elliott running down Chastain. Three wide, man. He was coming up on those 2 lap trucks pretty quick there. Joseph haven't missed much other than the different strategy game between the leaders. Still, the only caution came out on lap 10. Just now running down Chastain, about 2.5 seconds off the lead. Everybody will likely have to pit one more time. "42 laps to go." No lap trucks between the 2 leaders now. Elliott trying to simply run down Chastain. Sauter about 5 seconds back of where Elliott's at right now, currently in 3rd. Way back to Kyle Busch in 4th, who was the pole sitter for this race. Sheldon Creed rounds out the top 5. Remember, Sheldon Creed started at the rear of the field. So if we do get a second caution in this race, don't count Sheldon Creed out of it. He has come from a long ways to get up to the top 5 finally. And he is actually gaining ground on Kyle Busch for 4th also. So don't count Sheldon Creed out of it. Another driver that hasn't won, and a caution will fly with 41 laps to go. Our second caution of the race. And Elliott's gonna have to pit here, you would have to imagine. Chastain, the leader at the time of the caution. Aiden Rowland, welcome to the stream. Night's been going so far so good, so Elliott definitely has to pit here. Half can of fuel plenty. Right side tires only for Chase Elliott to win the race off pit road. He did not want to take 4 tires. The car, or I should say the truck, is too tight, but we'll see how this is going to work out. Left side should make it to the end, but will the right sides last? Green flag back in the air. Elliott nails the restart. Just 38 laps to go at Homestead. After just the second caution of the race, but again, we went almost 90 laps on that green flag run, but we'll see how this is going to run this time. Chastain holds off for second. Don't count Sheldon Creed out of it. That was the caution he needed to get back into this. Only 9 trucks on the lead lap. Oh, well, he gets tight again off of turn 4. Chastain was the big loser there. He had to get way under the gas, and Sauter takes the lead off of turn 4. Elliott with a mistake. Again, the truck is very tight at this point in the run. Here comes Todd Gilliland. He is trying to push Chase Elliott. Man, that 24 truck is still tight, and he's in the wall again. And losing a ton of ground. Todd Gillen stuck behind Elliott. Launches him into turn one. I don't think Gillen's a happy camper right now, to say the least. He has lost a ton of time, along with Chase Elliott. They battle for the lead up there. Looks like Stuart Friesen's going for it on Sauter now. Gillen takes it to the inside as well as Riley Herb, so we're 3 wide off of turn 4. Gillen cannot clear Elliott for position. Chase gets the run off the top. Now, as we get longer into the run with those older left side tires, the truck is going to be even more looser, so Elliott could have even more of a handful than what he already has had at the end of a run. But again, we don't know if those right side tires are going to make it. They made it on that first run about 2 laps longer than the second run, which we, under green flag laps, made it 39 laps. So that is really close, and we had to nurse at that last lap.
Stay low, stay low. You're all clear on top there.
Cautions may not be done yet, though, at the same time, although we've only had 2 tonight. Just 34 to go. Riley Herbst has still been right around Elliott here for a little bit, but that is not a battle for position. Marcus Hook is 9 seconds back. He got the free pass under the caution. Or 3.5 seconds back in ninth, I should say. And he's likely not going to catch Chase Elliott during this run unless we got another yellow, but we'll see. The only way the cautions are going to help is if nobody else pits. Nobody else pits. I think the cautions are going to help Elliott as long as he obviously doesn't get to the lead, or we run overtime, which would put more laps on these tires than what Chase Elliott would want to have. Seems like there's a little more grip earlier in the run, though, compared to normal, simply with the 2-tire stop alone. So handling-wise, instead of making an adjustment to take the right sides instead of just 4 tires, I think that might be a good call. Chastain is going for the lead again, off of turn 2, down the backstretch. He lost the lead on the restart, lost a little bit of ground, but he is going for it, but he could not get around the leader that time. Johnny Sauter hangs on off of turn 4. Chastain looking back to the bottom again. Meanwhile, Elliott still back at 8th and about 4.5 seconds off the lead. 30 laps to go this time by in the Truck Series at Homestead. Don't forget about the playoff bubble. Sauter is right there. We've had 5 different winners this season. 5 spots left to get in on points. He'll just about cut up in front of Elliott off of 2. Gave him just enough room to squeeze by. Cutting low on the exit of the corner, trying to get around the 98 of Enfinger. He will. And look at the big run now that Elliott's got into turn 3. Going all the way to the top. Oh, but he slams it off the wall. They're 3 wide now just in front of Elliott. He lost a little ground through turns 3 and 4. Unneeded error that time by Elliott. Gillen just cleared those guys, but now Elliott takes it 3 wide for a moment. Got down to side by side using a little brakes to the center of 1 and 2. Gillen trying to get right back on the back bumper of Elliott. He couldn't quite do it though. Chase Elliott up to 6th. Great power move that time by Chase down the front stretch into 1. Kyle Busch is falling back to 5th. Sheldon Creed, maybe not the restart he wanted. He's still in 4th. "27 laps to go." I'd have to assume with the way the truck handles, again, this far into the run, we don't have the ability to necessarily change just left sides. If everybody else pit under another caution, I think we'd have to stay out. Unfortunately, I think that's our best chance, even though, again, I think it would hurt us. But hopefully we don't get another caution that stays green to the end. We just play it the way it is now. Might be better off for us. Leaders will catch lap traffic at some point in time. We don't know if that's going to help or hurt us necessarily. It seemed like the leaders have gotten through the lap traffic pretty well tonight. But with 25 to go, and intensity obviously has picked up since where we have been most of the night, we'll have to just see. I mean, you can tell Elliott is making gains. They're slowly but surely little gains, that is for sure, but they are gains nonetheless that Elliott has been making. That right front is almost halfway worn out already, and we're not even halfway through this final green flag run. If it did stay green to the end, we'd have to make it to 19 to go. I don't think that right front is going to hang on for Chase Elliott, but he has to push the limits no matter the situation here. He's locked into the playoffs. He's got nothing to lose in that aspect. But knowing that the regular season title's on the line with just a couple races to go still, and Elliott bounces it off the wall of a turn 4, and that will hurt the right front more. Last thing Elliott needs is to push that fender in. Pugson, welcome to the stream. Just in time for a, well, I'm going to assume it's going to be a good finish here to this one. Still 4 seconds off the lead. I mean, he is barely gaining on Chastain. He's definitely gaining on these guys around him. Kyle Busch, Stuart Friesen, Sheldon Creed, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Elliott drives it in deep through turns 3 and 4. He oh, look at the 52 truck behind Elliott. He got really tight. He almost got into the wall, but he still holds clear of Kyle Busch. That helped Elliott a ton. Puts Chase in one corner to go from 6th to 4th. Sheldon Creed. Elliott ran a higher line. He's going to get the run off of turn 2. Creed up high to block. Elliott to the bottom. He's going to send it off into turn 3. He clears Sheldon Creed. And just like that, Chase Elliott is up to 3rd. Still 3.5 seconds back. 2 back of 2nd place Johnny Sauter. And again, the right front tire. Less than half of its tire wear remains on the truck with just 21 to go. He is not pacing that right front good, but he has to drive it hard because he's not even in the lead. You have to drive it hard to get to the lead and then kind of save it from that point on. You can't save and then go for it. Elliott just doesn't have that kind of time left in the race. And again, he is barely gaining on Chastain still. We'll have to see how lap traffic is going to play a factor. 20 laps left here at Homestead. Didn't look like Chastain caught Angelo Ruck in a good spot off of turn 2. That's the second time that Ruck has gotten in Chastain's way while he is leading in this race today. You saw how much time that cost him because Johnny Sauter now is only within a second of the lead. Sauter is closing the gap on Chastain as well as Chase Elliott. This is huge. Sauter to the outside of Ruck. Looks like Sauter's going to get around Angelo Ruck a lot quicker and a lot easier than what Chastain did. So is Chase Elliott, easily off of 2. There he goes. Big run. Sauter got caught behind Ankrum. Elliott to second place. We kind of overdrove turns 3 and 4 slightly there, but he does clear Sauter easily. Sauter got caught going into turn 3 behind Ankrum. Chastain just over a second ahead of Chase Elliott. The fan favorite Elliott closing in, crowd on the edge of their seat. One second, there's 2 lap trucks right in front of Chastain. He's going to get around the first one easily, but because the 2 trucks were there, they split the lanes. Chastain had nowhere to go off of turn 4. Had to get out of the gas just a little bit. Elliott ran the top. He's got a big run down the front straightaway now. Has to send in under Mike Harmon. Harmon pulled down right underneath Elliott. Elliott might have drove it in a little too deep, but that's what he had to do to get around Harmon. He has closed the gap. He got loose off of 2 there. Again, only took 2 tires under the last stop. Chastain to the bottom. Elliott to the top through 3 and 4. Side by side for the lead. Tyler Hill, lap truck might get in the way here. Chastain hangs on. He is caught behind the lap truck. 3 wide into turn 1. For the lead goes Elliott. He drives it off. He clears Chastain. Ross with the crossover. Just 16 to go. The battle for the lead is on here at Homestead. Elliott, big side draft down the back stretch on Chastain. Pulls back up the track to get away from him. Into turn 3. Chastain tries to drive it in deep through 3 and 4 in the bottom. Elliott again on the top. He clears Chastain off of turn 4. Elliott to the lead. 15 laps to go at Homestead. But the right front is at 31%. And it does not look good to make it to the end. A Hail Mary prayer effort here for Chase Elliott to bring this car home in one piece. He's gotten around Chastain. The job is halfway done. I think a caution is actually going to help Elliott, believe it or not, as far as making it to the end, but as far as winning the race, it might hurt him. Because that would be less laps he has to run, but everybody behind him, he's in trouble. Wow, Moffitt did not give Elliott a lot of room there. Elliott got on the brakes just to make sure. Moffitt pulled down, but it wasn't until the center of the corner. But Elliott has a faster truck this point of the run, even on 2 tires. And maybe, again, the truck could have came in just a hair quicker versus if we took 4. We might still be trailing Chastain by a couple seconds, perhaps. 2.5 second lead. Creed is up to 3rd. Around Sauter. Friesen's about to get around Sauter now for 4th. So Johnny losing a lot of spots late in the race. Remember, he was on the bubble coming into the day. So maybe not what Sauter wants to the end here. Parker Fletcher, welcome to the stream. 12 laps to go. 25% left on the right front. I seriously don't think it's going to last. But Elliott can't afford to pit. He pits now, he's going to go a lap down. Unless he takes 2 tires, he could stay on the lead lap. But he's definitely not going to win the race. Elliott is committed to staying out to the end. He is nursing it as much as he can in these corners. But as the handling has gone away on the truck this late in the run again, it's kind of hard to nurse it and not wear the tires out. Even if we back it way off. We'll see. And Creed is closing in on Chastain, but I think he's just a little too far back. Elliott kind of got in the back of Nemechek getting into 3 there. Saw Chastain gained a couple tenths that last lap because of it. 10 to go. Elliott's got the truck. It's a race basically between him and himself at this point. And again, has to take care of the right front. Look at that truck just take off of turn 2. Down the track. Pretty much by itself with how loose it is. This late in the run. And those tires are shot. He's still fast, but the tires are shot. 9 to go. This is now looking good. This isn't the longest he's had to go on tires tonight, but it's pretty close. And he might have banged it off the wall one too many times at the beginning of the run. We only hit the wall 2 or 3 times, but that was enough to wear out that right front just a little more than what Elliott would have liked. A nail-biter here tonight at Homestead. Good news is he's widening out about a 6-second lead, but I don't think that's going to be enough. That tire blows. He's going to be running about 5 seconds a lap faster at least. We might hold on 1 lap, but that's if we hold on to the race truck as well, because again, we crash out, we DNF late in the race. That would just add insult to injury at the end of this thing. We are just 7 laps away from the finish. Jackson Thomas, welcome. You're just in time for a close finish, nevertheless. Six to go. It seems like it's wearing off 2 to 3% a lap. And I mean, by my math, that right front's going to blow anywhere between 2 to 3 to go. It is not going to make it to the end. Unless we get a caution. The problem is, if a caution comes out with 4 or less laps left, we go to overtime, we end up actually having to run more laps, which is going to hurt it even worse. 5 to go. We've only had 2 cautions all night tonight. Well, we got 4.5 to go. Elliott has really backed that pace off a ton. He's not worried about trying to get to the white flag. He's worried about trying to make it to the checker at this point. And he's going to have to brace for impact, likely. Truck kind of stepped out on him there. On the brakes behind Jason White on the outside. 3 laps to go, this time by for Chase Elliott. Just 3 more laps in this race. And he is going to make it to the finish with another checkered flag added to his resume this season. And really not use as much brakes in the corners. We kind of had to because of the way the lap traffic's raced us these last couple of laps, but he's to kind of just back out of the gas, try not to turn the wheel as much as possible. Makes it a little easier with how loose it is, but again, it just washes up the track. We got a truck up in smoke, but he's on pit road, so we stay green. 2 to go. 2 laps left. Lap trucks to the inside. This is going to be a lot closer than what I thought. Elliott seems to be trending in the right direction. I think he's backed off enough these last couple of laps. As long as he gets to the white flag off of turn 4, I think he might have it. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Chase Elliott. He's down to 3% going into turn 1, but I think he's good. We've only seen it burn 2 to 3% off a lap. Chase Elliott has just nursed that right front home to the finish. 20 laps ago, I didn't think we were going to make it. I thought we were 2 to 3 laps short, but we have done it. And Chase Elliott off of turn 4 saves the truck enough. Checker flag in the air. Chase Elliott wins it again this season, this time at Homestead. Unbelievable how those tires were able to hold on for the final 38 laps of the race. It wasn't easy. Elliott backed way out of the gas those final 8 laps or so. I was really trying to nurse it, and he timed it perfect. I mean, it was down to 1% as we crossed the checker flag. I think if we would have had to go one more corner, it was going to blow out on us. So we definitely timed it about as perfect as we could have. Kind of a short burnout celebration there. Kind of blew the engine out on it, but what a win. Take a look at your running order here in tonight's race. Another win for Chase Elliott, 76 minutes total time on the race today. Just 2 cautions as the race pace definitely went by pretty quick in this 200-miler. So an hour, 16 minutes total. Chastain second. He probably led the most laps tonight, or at least close to it. But he ends up second place. Johnny Sauter third. Stuart Friesen fourth. Christian Eckes, rounds out the top 5. Kyle Busch in 6th, Ty Gillen 7th, Marcus Hook in 8th, Grant Enfinger 9th, and Tanner Gray rounds out the top 10 here in this one. So we'll take a look at the DNFs here tonight. Just 2 cautions. Zane Smith, Clay Greenfield were 2 drivers that did DNF in this one. And I looked up, those were 2 drivers that did not bring out a caution when they DNF. So that's pretty interesting to say the least. But nevertheless, that is the finishing order in this one. There's a look at the point standings. 61-point lead for Chase Elliott with 3 races to go, so just over a 1-race lead in the point standings with only 3 races left in the regular season championship. We race tomorrow night at Kentucky next. There is no doubleheader tonight. Sorry, Jackson. Doll, welcome to the stream. I heard the difficulty. Man, it's as high as it goes. Nevertheless, that is going to do it. So thanks everybody for joining here tonight against Kentucky tomorrow night. 8:15, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time roughly will be the start time for that race. Going forward, we try to get closer to the regular season title. I should do a reenacting of each race. That'd be a little too many videos on my daily schedule. But there's Chase Elliott in victory lane, celebrating another one. Chastain had the fastest lap, 32.669. Most laps led was by Chase Elliott, believe it or not. 61 of the 134 laps led, so I'm kind of surprised by that. Oh, the real races, gotcha. I mean, that's possible, but I kind of don't want to do it. I already watched the race in full. So if I was reacting to it, I mean, I do the post-race analysis. But if I was to actually react to it after it, I don't want to sit down and watch the whole race a second time in a row. Especially a couple days after the fact. It's already fresh in my mind. But Anthony Hanley, what is my favorite track? Bristol's my favorite track for sure. That's going to be it here for this one. We're going to use the steering wheel again tomorrow night at Kentucky again. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general, and I will see you guys next time. And real quick, gonna put my Twitter down in the comment section here, so that way if you follow me, I have the weekly schedule for the entire week here. So you guys know the streaming schedule for the rest of the week, so there you go. It is in the comment section now if you aren't already followed. And thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.